Hello everyone, welcome to the Ginger Snaps here. I'll be discussing movies for you guys in a very blunt way. I'm your host, Steven Harrold, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys my review for a Wolverine on Deadpool Street. No, I'm pretty sure the title was Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm pretty sure it was that. I mean, you know, it's two comic book characters. No big deal. As you're all aware, Deadpool and Wolverine was one of the most highly anticipated superhero movies in recent memory. Of course, a lot of people have been anticipating this movie ever since the first Deadpool movie came out. But of course, you know, when Logan killed him was the movie that killed off Wolverine. It was like, oh, I guess we'll never see it. But of course, Ryan Reynolds 2 years ago, I believe it was 2 years ago, announced that no, they were going to do Wolverine and Deadpool in the same movie. Unlike X-Men Origins Wolverine, because let's not fucking talk about that fucking movie. But nonetheless, this was one of the most highly anticipated movies, especially in the superhero genre. So, even though the movie had came out last week, and I had seen it now twice, I wanted to make sure I got my genuine thoughts for this one. So, let's begin, and also just letting you guys know, this is a spoiler-free review, even though it's been a week. I know some people still haven't watched the movie yet, so that's why it's going to be spoiler-free. So here's my review for Deadpool and Wolverine. When it comes to the story of this movie, I can't really get too much into detail, but basically it really does pay homage to the fact that Fox's Logan was an amazing ending to that character of Wolverine. So they didn't want to like disrespect it in such a way. I mean, like, you know, when you kill off a character and you decide to bring him back, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, well, why? And that ending was so perfect. I mean, like, you know, horror movies don't really get that kind of fucking treatment. But nonetheless, Deadpool's Wolverine in his universe is dead, so he has to go to another multiverse or another universe to find another Wolverine, who just happens to be one of the worst ones. But I digress, because that's not the big point of this whole entire story. We need to make sure we have to pay respects to Logan as a film, and also we have to find a way to get Wolverine and Deadpool in the same movie. Well, of course, you know, they have their own little problems going on. But other than that, when it comes to the story, and this, what I mean by this, Marvel fans are a little bit hard to fucking please, but when it comes to the story of Deadpool and Wolverine, it is, quite frankly, probably one of the weakest of the three Deadpool movies. I mean, the first movie established the character of Wade Wilson. The second movie, you bring his arc more. And then in this one, this is one of the first Deadpool movies to be featured under the Marvel Disney umbrella. It kind of feels like Marvel and Disney, even though there are tons of swears and tons of gore and all that kind of stuff. Sadly, when it comes to this story, it's weak. It's the weakest of the three films. Even though I say the story is weak, now we get to one of the characters, Wade Wilson / Deadpool, played by Ryan Reynolds. Again, he kills it every single time. When he portrays Deadpool, this is the role he was born to play. Like such another actor who I'll be getting to after this. Everything about Deadpool in this movie was enjoyable. Of course, the fourth wall breaks are amazing. The style of the action that Deadpool had perceived, and everything about that is great. This is the standard Deadpool that we've grown to love. It's just for some odd reason, I feel this is kind of like, this is Disney / Marvel, you know, kind of like tipping their hat saying, hey, see, we can swear too. We can break the fourth wall. We can make fun of ourselves. It's like, yeah, because your target audience who grew up with the first Iron Man movie, are grown-ups now. You kind of have to adapt now to the adults. So even though Deadpool was, you know, the merc with the mouth, sadly, I do find that even his fourth wall breaking was kind of held back or kind of forced. But nonetheless, I do enjoy Deadpool in this fucking movie. Oh, my childhood's complete. And then up next, we have Logan / Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman. Of course, coming back to the character for the first time since Logan. And to play Wolverine, like I said before, and a lot of people have also said in many reviews, Hugh Jackman was the perfect casting to play Wolverine, even in the first film. Like, the first frame you saw him in, he was perfectly casted. Now, he understands this character. Of course, this is a different version of Wolverine that we haven't seen. Like I said in the intro, basically, this Wolverine, failed. He was a letdown. He was one of the worst Wolverines. But the fact that this Wolverine is tied into the X-Men universe that we grew up with the X-Men 97 TV show or cartoon show, it's nice and fitting, especially with the outfit, the iconic yellow and blue outfit. And to finally see Hugh Jackman don this for the first time in 24 fucking years, it's a delight to see. And of course, him playing Wolverine, who is not only unhinged, but is swearing like a motherfucker like he was in Logan, is always welcome. Because Wolverine, every single time I saw him as an X-Men character, he was always like the badass, the guy who never wanted to fucking listen to anybody, especially Cyclops. Wolverine seemed the type of guy who would always like throw an F-bomb left, right, and center. So for Hugh Jackman to come back and play this character and play him so wonderfully, it was a nice thing to see. When it comes to other characters in this fucking movie, well, I could talk about the villain, Cassandra Nova, who is the evil twin sister of Professor X, Charles Xavier. When it comes to other characters, of course, we don't see Deadpool's girlfriend this much in the movie. We don't see Negasonic Teenage Warhead in this movie as much. We don't see much of the characters that we had since grown to love from the first Deadpool are in this movie, maybe with the exception of Peter in a few scenes. Peter kind of shines. I mean, this meme of a fucking character became larger than life. But of course, we also have the other kind of villain in this movie who is the head of this organization, and he wants to end Deadpool's universe. And he's not really much of a villain. He's kind of like, if I had to describe him, where it's like, yeah, Cassandra Nova is the true villain of this movie, but it's pretty much like he is the Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face to Cassandra Nova's Riddler. If that's a weird comparison, I know that's fucking weird. But nonetheless, when it comes to the villains of this movie has a chock full of them. I mean, one was spoiled in the fucking trailer with Sabretooth. But nonetheless, when it comes to the remaining characters of this movie, can't really say much, but it was a delight to see. Especially some very unexpected ones. Ones that we haven't seen in a while, and one that we definitely have not fucking seen with the full potential. But maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. But other than that, when it comes to other characters, they're all fine and dandy. Especially the ones we get in the movie. And it's like, I want more of this. When it comes to this movie's action and gore and fight scenes, it's every comic book lover's dream. This movie has two great fights with Wolverine and Deadpool. We have Wolverine and Deadpool against a whole army of bad guys. We have Wolverine and Deadpool and these other characters that are up against a whole slew of, other characters that we haven't seen in a while. Or then Wolverine and Deadpool facing off against, well, I guess this is no fucking secret. This has pretty much been spoiled already. A whole universe full of other Deadpools. What can I say? It's a comic book fan's delight. It's the action's top notch. I mean, when it comes to me and my brother, or me and my friend Dean, who I went and saw this movie with, I even asked him, like, which is the goriest? Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, or Deadpool and Wolverine? And with the baggage of Wolverine in it, it's gotta be Deadpool and Wolverine, because one scene in particular, actually a few scenes in particular, there's a lot of fucking blood going around. So, everything about the action, the fight scenes, the gore, the deaths, fucking amazing when it comes to this movie. Now, of course, like I said, I can't really get into spoilers because I do believe in the whole tradition of some people, it's been a week, they still haven't seen it yet, so I hold off on spoilers. But if you have certain expectations of this movie that you are expecting, yeah, it's very much likely that they will be fulfilled. There are some things that you're not going to expect. There are cameos in this movie that you would have never guessed in a million years. What the hell? Like, I would have never expected that before. The fourth wall breaks in this movie are amazing. Even there's one fourth wall break that ties into a certain celebrity that caused some controversy at the Oscars, and Ryan Reynolds did it masterfully. But also, the choice of the music in this movie, I mean, as we all know, in the trailer we heard Madonna's Like a Prayer. That song has become popular because of this movie again. And then, of course, if you start noticing NSYNC's Bye 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 playing on the radio a lot, yep, because of this fucking movie, that's popular now. The score of this movie is amazing. There's not much else I can say. I feel like Ryan Reynolds, when it comes to the music, he kind of like handpicks certain songs and like, no, let's put that in there. Let's put that in there. But other than that, when it comes to the fourth wall breaks, the characters, the jokes, the soundtrack, it's all great. And I absolutely love it for a Deadpool movie, especially featuring a badass like Wolverine. Now, of course, like I said, this movie was a very anticipated film for myself. Me and my friend Dean were very anticipating this movie, and we went and saw it the Saturday after the opening day. So we made that plan. He brought his son Vincent with him, and we sat in the theater and we watched it. And to see his reaction to the characters, the fourth wall breaks, the one-liners, the jokes, the fight scenes, even certain things that he was hopeful of this fucking movie, to see his reaction, it was like, holy shit, man. Like, I enjoyed seeing his reaction because he's a big Deadpool fan. He's a big Wolverine fan. I'm a big Wolverine fan, too. It's just, I'm kind of the Batman fan. But other than that, like, just being in the theater to experience his reaction was great. It's a shame that both times I've gone to the theater, I've had a horrible experience. When I went with Dean and Vincent, there was a fight that broke out in the theater. It's like, whatever, I'm watching a movie. And then the next time I went to go see the movie, there was a kid right next to me. And he was laughing at the most mundane jokes. And he kept constantly laughing. And I'm like, I wish I had Wolverine claws right fucking now. Because, but other than that, when it comes to the movie's story, it falls a little flat. When it comes to certain plot holes in this movie, it kind of deducts it a little bit. But when it comes to what you came to see, Wolverine and Deadpool, and you have those expectations, you're gonna walk away happy. And there are some things that you don't predict that you're gonna walk away jaw drop because you're like, I did not expect that. Especially a little cameo of a certain actor playing a certain character, and it's like a brief 15 seconds. And I was just like, oh god, my brother fucking almost creamed in his pants. But other than that, it's a comic book lover's nostalgia movie. Is it one of the best? Probably not. Like, is it better than Logan? Fuck no, it's not. But for a Deadpool movie, it's probably maybe one of the weaker ones of the three. But still, nonetheless, it's enjoyable as hell. All three have been enjoyable. And that's all I have to say about that. So if you haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine, go watch it and have an opinion for yourself. Because I know for a fact, as a not so much of a comic book fan, I did love watching this movie. Especially if I had to go see it twice. So, for my rating, I'm going to give Deadpool and Wolverine a 7 out of 10. So let me know, guys, in the comments, what did you think about Deadpool and Wolverine? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, make sure you give it the thumbs up and subscribe for more content. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can get notified about all the other videos coming up on the channel. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. This has been the Ginger Snaps here. No, I'm not the Mirth with the Mouth, and no, I'm not the Wolverine, but I am Steven Harrold. I will talk to you guys later. And remember to stay spooky. I know that's not really a spooky movie, right? It's a kick-ass comic book movie. But nonetheless, talk to you guys later.